Hi, this is Tim with the Gilson Home Group. As we're wrapping up another fabulous summer in Michigan and people are closing out their swimming pools, I'd like to take a look with you at what's been the impact on the desirability of a swimming pool pre-pandemic versus mid-pandemic. Now here's what we traditionally found about swimming pools. Because less than 10% of all the homes in Southeast Michigan actually have a swimming pool, that's the best indication that not a lot of people wanted to have these things. One of the things that we found pre-pandemic is we'd often take families out to see homes and they'd say, gosh, I love everything about that, except it's got a pool. That's not really my taste. What are the reasons that people really didn't want pools pre-pandemic? There's really a couple of them. One is economic and the other is safety related. Safety, of course, they didn't want their little kids to fall in and potentially get hurt. And secondarily, the cost. People were concerned about opening and closing pools like this one is being done right now. But there's a dirty little secret that most people don't know about the real cost of operating a pool. The real cost is not the heating and the water and the chlorine and the whatever you have to put into the pool. The true most expensive thing about operating a pool is the food and the drinks, because these things become a magnet for your family to come over. And trust me, from firsthand experience, that's the most important and most expensive part of operating a pool in Michigan. So what was pool demand like pre-pandemic? Well, we find if you take a look back, we want to go back to 2019 because 2020 it was an odd year because of the pandemic. We were essentially shut down for 3 months. If we take a look at 2019 compared to 2021, and we look at all of those homes that sold from January through the end of September, in both of those years, under $1 million. What we found is some things that are very revealing about what people's perception of a pool is and how that's changed because of the pandemic. So let's take a quick look first. If you take a look at that cohort of all of the properties that sold in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties, we found that the average days on market pre-pandemic, that means 2019, was just under 50 days, about 49 days on the market for properties to sell. That has changed dramatically in this most recent season of 2021 to be down to around 22 days. So we've seen a 55% drop in the number of days on market. So that's the first indicator that people are really starting to warm up to these things called swimming pools. The other thing that we discovered is, let's take a look at those homes that were without swimming pools. We've seen a similar decline in the number of days on market. So maybe that's just across the entire Southeast Michigan real estate area. But there's one more piece of information that's going to kind of solidify this thinking in our minds. So there is definitely a seasonality to when the most number of homes with swimming pools sells. Traditionally, when you look at the last 10 years worth of data, July is the month where the most number of houses with pools in Southeast Michigan are selling. The number of units that were on the market in 2019 with a swimming pool was around 2,500. This most recent season, we were approximately half, down at 1,200 homes. There's your sign that these things are becoming more popular. So what are the reasons that people really suddenly desire a swimming pool? Really what's happened is many people are finding a retreat in their own space. They've decided that they're not traveling for various reasons related to health and the pandemic. So what they've done is they've turned to this thing called making their own paradise where they live. And this is a great example of that. People have moved in here and said, we're going to nest right where we are and we're not going to travel. We're going to really make a resort right where we live. So what's happened with the pricing for homes that actually have a swimming pool in Southeast Michigan? What we have found from 2019 through 2021 is that the value of those homes with swimming pools has risen about 22% when you look at that same population of homes under $1 million in the Tri-County area. That kind of tracks pretty closely with what the value of the homes are that don't have a swimming pool. So what they're really telling us is everybody's buying a home, but the number of homes that are available with swimming pools has dropped substantially because people have found them to be more desirable. The inventory is way down for homes with swimming pools. It's hard to get a swimming pool built. The wait in many of the best companies in the area that build a pool is about 2 years. That's an indication that even for those people who are not moving, what we're finding is that they're going to stay put and they're going to install a swimming pool. When you take a look at your lifestyle, if you decide that's something that you're going to put in to make your home your resort, go ahead and get on the list now because it might be a couple of years before you're going to be able to enjoy that paradise. That's what we have for you today. Please call, text, email us, write to us, anything. and we'd love to help you here at the Gilson Home Group.